and I wouldn't swap them for the world. I wish that I could at least have contact visits with Reg, so I could hold his hand, or he could like smell the perfume. I often think of times when Reg could be free, that we could spend proper quality time together. And if you don't think on that, then you just don't have the hope, don't have the dreams, and everybody's entitled to their dreams and hopes. And that's what keeps some of the guys going. It keeps Reg going, keeps me going.
Polunsky Unit is a maximum security prison with 330 prisoners on death row.
I'm always nervous when I go into the prison on a first trip, you know, the first visit of a trip. I don't know why, it's just that place, but, you know, after a while it's okay once you've been sat in there for about 10 minutes.
For fiancé Reg, it's been a nerve-wracking morning too.
At first, I thought I was just strong and this macho man because I didn't feel any butterflies. But then, like, when 6 o'clock rolled around and I knew that it was 2 hours before she was gonna be here, I was nervous. I was real nervous. I was so nervous I had to meditate. And then I didn't know if I was gonna cry. I got all emotional.
We were not allowed to film the visit between Sandy and Reg, but today they get to spend 4 hours together. And despite the prison walls, this has never affected the way Reg feels about Sandy.
I do remember the moment that I first fell in love with her. It was out here in visitation, and she wasn't visiting me, but I got to see her for the first time. I recognized her from her picture, and I told my mama was visiting me. I told my mama, I said, "Mama, that's Sandy. Get her attention, get her attention." And so she said, are you Sandy? And she said, yes. She said, this is Reg. And she looked at me, and that was it. I was gone. I've been gone ever since.
I don't like seeing him in there. When you do go and visit, you just want to break down the glass and get him out, because it's a hellhole. People can say, oh, but he's done something wrong, he should be in there. But they should learn to know Reg and then maybe make a judgment.
Sandy and Reg tried to enjoy their meeting, but their wedding is the furthest thing from their minds. They've received some serious news. Reg's final attempt for his appeal to be heard by the Supreme Court has been denied, and an execution date will follow any day.
Reg he tries not to show it, but you can tell deep down that he is scared. He is scared of being killed because of something that he hasn't done. I'm scared for him. I have my tears. I've just got to stay strong for him, really. Stay more focused.
The first thing that went through my mind was her. And I felt like I was ruining her life, because I can only imagine how that made her feel. I tell her, I said, baby, you crazy. Your love blinds you.
To me, he's always been there. You know, I've always had him there by my side, you know, figure of speech. So to have him not there, I don't personally know what I'm going to do.
She was the only person that I can express myself to like that would stay in my life long enough to go through my ups and downs with me. But I can go through that alone. And I would go through that alone if I knew that it would prevent her from being devastated by a state killing me.
And whatever happens to Reg, I'm going to be there for him anyway. Even if it is an execution date, he's known this from the start, that I'll always be there for him.
Reg's family cannot afford a private legal team. His appeals process will continue, but he's now on the third lawyer assigned to him by the court, and resources are limited.
Reg's lawyer was supposed to have gone to see him again for a second time, which again for the second time didn't turn up to see him. So that is something that, you know, I'm going to have to find out why he didn't turn up, because Reg needs to see his lawyer at this point in time.
John Carroll's office, how may I help you?
Hello, is it possible to speak to John, please?
He's not in. May I take a message? Or would you like his voicemail?
No, what it is, I went in to see Reginald Blanton this morning because I'm over in Texas from England. And Reginald said that John was supposed to have gone to see him on the 19th or the 26th, and he didn't turn up to see him, and Reg was wondering why he didn't turn up.
Yeah, he didn't go because he was appointed to another case and he had to be in federal court here that day. So he's going, yeah, he's rescheduling. Oh, let's see if he told me the date. I think it's July 9th that he said he was going to reschedule it to.
July the 9th?
July the 9th or the 16th, which is...
The thing is, time is going on with Reginald's case, and he really needs to see John urgently.
Yes, I know. And, I mean, he had already bought his ticket, everything. He was ready to go, but then he got that case, and they set it for that morning, so he had to, you know, cancel that.
Right, okay. Okay, then. Thanks ever so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mama doesn't even know that he didn't turn up Friday. So he didn't, obviously didn't tell Reg's mum, who he's supposed to be in contact with at all times. What a load of bullshit.
Clive Stafford Smith is not Reg's lawyer, but has 25 years legal experience as a defence lawyer on American death row cases.
Most lawyers don't go into the practice of law to represent poor people for very little money, and in death penalty cases the resources are so limited. I mean, in much of my career in Mississippi and Louisiana, places like that, the most you could get paid for a whole capital case was $1,000, about maybe £600. That was meant to be the lawyer's fee, it was meant to be all the experts, all the investigators, everything. There was one time in Mississippi where we put a lot of work into a case, and so we were being paid about $1 an hour. And we sued them under the federal minimum wage law. They said at least you should pay us $5.25 an hour, if nothing more than that.
If Reg can't get another appeal, it's possible he may only have a few months left to live. Sandy is desperate to marry him, but there's a problem. She's still married to her third husband. He's also on Polunsky death row, on the same wing as Reg. In Texas, Sandy is trying to organise her marriage to a second inmate on death row. Last year, she married Charles Chucky Mamu. He was convicted in 1999 for a double murder during a drug deal.
What was I thinking, marrying Chucky? I wasn't thinking. I really don't know. That's not against Chucky. That was my mistake, the mistake I made.
Sandy had been pen pals with 34-year-old Chucky for a year and a half. And on their second meeting, he proposed.
When you actually meet them, especially in that place, it's a complete different thing. And I suppose that on the spur of the moment, and he was feeling things on the spur of the moment, so he asked me to marry him, and I just said yes. Chucky is a very intelligent person, but he's also a charmer, and that will woo any woman into his charm.
She came, real understanding. Sandy's a real compassionate woman, regardless to how the situation worked out for she and I. She's a person who I feel is a genuine person of integrity, meaning that As she comes to you, she coming to you from the heart.
1, 2, 3.
Sandy and Chucky got married just a few miles from the prison, but he wasn't allowed to attend. His family, though, travelled in from Louisiana to be there.
I was stood on my own with Chucky's dad, who actually was the one that gave me away and put the ring on my finger.
My family adored Sandy. My children was looking forward to calling her stepmom and stuff like that. And at the time, I really thought that she was the one.
But Sandy was beginning to feel differently.
The night before the wedding, I was in my motel room on my own, and I wanted to run. I thought, what the shit am I doing? But I went through with it. It was something I just couldn't walk away. I don't think people understand. It was difficult to just got up and got on a plane and gone home.
Her then pen pal, Reg, who also knows Chucky, knew something was up.
I thought it was just, marriage jitters. So I tried to encourage it. Like, oh, you just nervous. I'll be all right. Just be there for him. And I tried to take up for him, saying that, he'll open up his heart to you. Just give it a little time. And I was just trying to just have her back but I didn't know that I was kind of pushing her into a hole. So it's partially my fault.
Once she was back home, Sandy found out that despite being married, Chucky was still writing sex letters to other women.
Yeah, I was. I was a naughty. And again, it wasn't so much I wasn't committed to being faithful to her. There was a misunderstanding that I thought she was being naughty as well.
Was I faithful? Hell no. Because by not being faithful, I knew that was the wrong thing. It was the wrong thing to have married him. But then, nor was he.
After 4 months, their marriage had fallen apart.
Things start fading away. The letters, where you was getting a letter 4 or 5 times a week, you start getting 2, well, then you know what time it is. And then, you start to arguing and bickering over nonsense. But that's pretty much, I can say, on the borderline of why it didn't work out with Sandy and I. We just realized it wasn't going to work.
Now single, Sandy was ready to turn her blossoming relationship with Reg into more than just friends. But sometimes the lengthy divorce process has taken its toll.
I know that outside of my own insecurities, that what me and Sandy have is phenomenal. And so when I focus on the love, all those shadows just fade away and it becomes irrelevant.
Chucky has signed the divorce papers, but there is a problem with them. Apparently, I should have filled out the part that he filled out, and the part he filled out, I should have filled out. So it's all got to be done again. I feel that a lot of time has been wasted on maybe something that should have been with Reg, and that is something that I have got to live with now.
But is marrying another death row inmate really the answer for Sandy?
People are bound to think I'm mad for doing what I'm doing, but that's their opinion. I've got my own. Even in the free world, you could go into a bar and maybe meet somebody. That doesn't work out, and a few months down the line, you're going out with somebody else.